All right. So today's shir. So friends, this week's Parsha, we learn about the way Eretz Yisrael was divided amongst the Jewish people. This is all God's instruction to Moishe Rabbeinu as to how they should do this once they get into Eretz Yisrael. It's the end of the 40 years. Moishe Rabbeinu is soon to pass away, and the final preparations for the entry into Eretz Yisrael. So if you look at all of the psukim, and the way Rashi explains it, there are three factors that went into the division. Number one, a calculation. What was involved in the calculation? So first of all, what's taken into account? Each tribe gets its allotted portion. So the factors to be considered are the size of the tribe, therefore to determine how big the parcel of land. Secondly, the nature of the terrain. A smaller fertile area is more valuable than the same area in a land that is less fertile. So that's got to be considered. And the third thing to be considered, and this is fascinating, that each tribe received a portion in the land that was reflective of its persona. In other words, the land itself, its terrain, yielded different kinds of produce and a different kind of agricultural, and in some cases, not even that, business. Living on the ocean, on the Zvulun was given its portion, for example, along the shore, because they were merchants, seafaring. That was suited to their persona. And depending on the persona, inland, external, north, south, east, and west, the land itself, actually, I once saw that if you look at the contour of the biblical land of Israel, it's a face. It's a face. It's a forehead, a nose, an outline, a contour of a face. Because it's the face, it's the pnimius, it's the heart of the world. It's a persona. Within their persona, there are different character traits, as we're learning about in the discourse earlier. So this is all taking into calculation the nature of the tribe. Each tribe had its own flag, its own emblem, its own stone on the breastplate, a different color and position on the breastplate, which the high priest wore, the choshen. This is all reflective of their nature and how they fit into the mosaic of the Jewish people. So this is a tremendous calculation. Size, nature, size of land, the nature of the land as it fits with the particular persona of that tribe. That's one calculation. A second thing went into it. Ruach HaKodesh. This is how it worked. When it came to apportioning the land, so Hashem instructs like this. Yeshua, the leader, Moshe's successor, is to make 12 tablets, 12 pieces of shards, and write on each one of them a name of the tribe, and put it into an urn. So they're all represented. Then the 12 pieces of land that had been divided up through the calculation, and put that into the urn. And then he would announce, divinely inspired. This would be divinely inspired, and they would see this lit up on the choshen, the breastplate of Elazar, the successor of Aaron, the Kohen Gadol. Again, each tribe had a stone, and it would light up when they would ask God questions of national significance. This is a question of national significance. Which tribe gets which portion? And they could see the way it lit up, and there was letters engraved on the breastplate. And Elazar, the high priest, would be divinely inspired, and he would say that a lottery is about to happen, and which on the third stage, that a particular tribe is going to receive this portion of land. And then each leader of each tribe would step forward, put his hand in the urn, take out 2 pieces of these shards, and would come out his tribe and the land that had been worked out before rationally, it made sense for all the considerations, and announced by Elazar the high priest, divinely inspired by and as evidence in the answer of Hashem, manifested through the choshen, the breastplate that the high priest wore. In other words, in summary, there were three things: calculation, a calculated conclusion, an inspirational, divinely inspired conclusion, and a lottery, which in the end, put your hands in and boom, it came out exactly as they had decided. Had it been announced by the breastplate, it was now reflected in the lottery. This is a very elaborate, process determining which tribe gets what. Now, the simple reason why it had to be so elaborate, this is not in the presence of the entire assembly, is because this is very significant. You're getting a portion in your tribe. This is forever. That no one should argue it's not fair. And then this is he wants another portion of land. You can see that you can understand it, and it's divinely inspired, and the lottery, luck, as it were, quote unquote, also came to the same conclusion. So then each parcel of land that was given, each section to each tribe, was then divided up according to family subsequently as well. And now we're going to explain very briefly, friends, the spiritual significance of these three components that went into dividing the land of Israel. A logical division was division based on logic, division based on divine inspiration, and a division based on lottery. Friends, there are three levels in our connection to Hashem. We have to appreciate that the land of Israel is a reflection of the people of Israel. And going into the land and developing the land, as we all know, that's the whole purpose, that the soul comes down to the world to develop this world and make the whole world the Holy Land. That's the final result. The Jews going into Israel and developing it is symbolic of the day, and actually sets in, not symbolic, but more than that, sets in motion the day when one day the whole world becomes the Holy Land. In the words of our sages, that Yerushalayim will spread ultimately, eventually, after Mashiach comes, throughout the whole land of Eretz Yisrael. The whole land of Eretz Yisrael spreads throughout the whole world. The whole world becomes God's home. Ultimately, the whole world becomes the Beis HaMikdash. The whole world becomes the Mishkan, the sanctuary, the dwelling place for God. So all of the details in settling and dividing the land, it's all a template for our service of God, our relationship with God, our mission as Jews. And hence, there are three components to our Avodas Hashem, our service of God. These three components that are reflective in the three components that went to the settling and the division of the land of Israel. Number one is the cheshbon, the calculation. The elders sat and figured out, as we described earlier, the nature of the terrain, therefore what size, and how it's suited for which particular tribe, reflective of their persona. What does this mean spiritually? Spiritually means, what's that level one motivation? Ground entry, as it were, into why to observe Torah mitzvahs. And the simple answer, and this requires effort, true, but the first hook and the first reason is because it's beautiful. It makes sense. It makes sense. The person critically examines and learns the value of the mitzvahs. He appreciates their value, first of all, for this world, and certainly for the next world. Someone said to me, and he's exploring Yiddishkeit, he said, at the end of the day, logic says keep it. He says, because if it's true, then I earn a share in the afterlife. And how terrible is the law? What's so terrible? I won't eat ham and I'll eat kosher. What's the tremendous sacrifice? Now look around at the way observant Jews live. It's a beautiful way to live. So I didn't indulge every whim. And if it's true, it's a tremendous gain in the world to come. Then it's really significant. And I'm just quoting him. And if it's not, so what happened? I lived a moral, nice life in this world, and I didn't give in to every desire. So that's so terrible. And if it is true, then boy, I'll be happy that I kept it, because at the end, that's all it's going to count in the afterlife. So he makes a cheshbon. It's a nice way to live. And the worst case scenario, no, there's no afterlife. It wasn't so terrible. Their beautiful family life. It's a beautiful life. Shabbos is beautiful. Fine. That's the first level. That corresponds to dividing a land based on a rational, analytical calculation. Then there's a higher level. That's the divine inspiration. Divine inspiration. This is a person, he realizes there's more to Judaism than just the logic and the reward, etc. It's something higher. It's something spiritual. There's a mystical component that is beyond logic. And that's what draws him. It's not simply sit down Shabbos to the table, for example, and he's enjoying the good food and the company. And it's just a beautiful day, Shabbos, a day of connecting to wife and children and community, beautiful weather now, going for a stroll in the park. Much more than that. There's an aura of Shabbos. There's a sanctity. There's a spirituality. This engenders a devotion to Yiddishkeit that goes beyond the letter of the law. The first guy is going to follow the law, and that's where he's satisfied. Here he goes beyond. It even will lead to devotion and even sacrifice, because he's sensitive to that this is more than just a beautiful way to live. This is holy. This is holy. There's something mystical that's beyond understanding, something holy, kedusha, that he relates to. This is a higher level. That corresponds to the second component, that the breastplate lit up, and Elazar the high priest announced prophetically that this piece of land is going to end up, we'll see in the lottery in a moment, allotted to this particular tribe. That's an inspirational moment. Everybody's standing around and watching the high priest in a meditative state, and they see the breastplate light up in some way, and it's all very mystical. And then he announces, this is what's going to be, and that's what's going to be. So we're confronting something that's otherworldly, not just the best way to live. Yiddishkeit, that's the first level. Yiddishkeit is the recipe for the best life, this world and the next. The second level is that's true, but there's something mystical and godly that's otherworldly altogether. It's holy. And this means, practically speaking, that even when I don't understand and I don't appreciate and I don't see the value, he's still devoted, because he recognizes that it's beyond just all the rationale and logic and meaning and explanations. There's sanctity to it. And so therefore, this level, a person's going to do what he has to do, even when right now I don't feel like it and I don't understand its beauty, but he knows that there's something beyond. All of it has an element that's beyond understanding. It's sacred, and therefore he's devoted and pushes himself beyond the limit. First guy doesn't sacrifice too much. He does to the point that he feels good, and that's where it ends his Yiddishkeit. The second level is an element of sacrifice. What's the third level? The third level is the lottery. What's the lottery? The lottery is, I have no say in this. Not I understand, not that I'm inspired, just it's the way it is. You can't control the outcome of the lottery. That's the whole point of a lottery. This is just, that's the way it is. What is this third level? This level of goydel is, why do mitzvahs? Because that's just the way it is. I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. It's who I am. This is the way I was born. You have a choice in your birth. That's the way it is. This goes beyond I'm inspired. This goes beyond I understand. It can't be any other way. It's beyond choice. The first two are a choice. I'm doing this because I understand. I'm doing this because I'm more than that. I'm inspired. I see this holiness. I see this. It's beyond understanding. But again, it's an element of, and therefore I'm choosing it. I'm motivated. The third level is a lottery. There's no choice at all. It just happens. As I'm not choosing, I have no choice in the matter at all. And I can't escape this. I am a Yid. And that's my lot. This is what's been granted to me. And it can't be any other way. This is beyond sacrifice. He doesn't even feel he's sacrificing when he has to do that which is difficult, whatever. What do you mean? I'm a Yid. Let's translate this, friends, in a relationship. Because it's all about a relationship with God, and the best illustration of this is now in our marriages. There's 3 levels to your marriage, and you need all 3. And they go in this order. Level number 1 is, why did you marry your wife? A calculation. You made a cheshbon. You went out with this girl, you went out with that girl, whatever it is. You met this one, you met that one. And this one, this girl, this woman, you like and appreciate. You see her virtues, etc. And it's a calculation. And you measure this person against somebody else, and she has what you're looking for more than the other one. And so you marry this one. It's all based on a calculation. That's the first thing. Let's divide the land based on Rav Tarbu, a bigger tribe you give more, a smaller tribe you give less. Why this person? Because this fits with me. That's how it has to begin. But then you stand under the chuppah. The chuppah is an aura that embraces you. And as time develops, and this is critical to the marriage, you recognize your connection goes more than it fits, it makes sense. There's an aura. There's something mystical about our relationship that's super rational. We're drawn to each other on a level that's beyond just the logic, the looks, the sense of humor, the background, whatever, all the reasons that we decided to marry. What you saw in me and I saw in you goes beyond that. We're connected on a mystical level. There's a mystical attraction. There's a spiritual attraction. There's a soulful attraction that I share with you and not with anybody else. Now that's very powerful. You're inspired by this relationship. You connect to each other. It's not just the words that you say. It's not just mind and heart, but it's really mystical. You have a relationship that other people cannot understand. You have a level of communication, the way you talk, that only a language that you share with her, because it's not the language of logic and emotion that you can share and do have with others. You're not simply friends. And more than just love each other, there's a mystical bond. It's mystical, and it defies the conventions of calculated partnership. More than friends and partners, it's mystical. What could be higher than this? What could be higher than it's a mystical relationship? So let me just rephrase these 2 words. First level is, I understand this. Second level is, I believe in this. So the first level is, I understand you. I see how you complete me. I understand, I see how you complete me. I'm fulfilled with you. It's measurable and quantifiable how you complement me. Second level is, not I understand you, I believe in you. We're drawn together on a level that is beyond all of this. There's a magnetism, that's faith. Third level, what's the third level? Which is represented by the lottery. A lottery you have absolutely no role to play in. It just happens that way. What's this third level? The third level is you recognize, it's more than I believe in you. We are one soul. It can't be any other way. It's we, it's not us. We are one. It's not, I'm devoted to you and I believe in you and I'll even sacrifice for you. It's we are one. This is beyond sacrificing for you. Do I sacrifice for myself if I need it? If I need this to survive, to live, no, that's just who I am, and I need to. This is a connection that is so deep that it's beyond inspired by you. We are one. It's meant to be. It can't be any other way because we are one. That's what it is. This third level is doing mitzvahs, not because I'm inspired, because I'm a Jew and my soul is a part of Hashem above. How can it be any different? The first two are elements of choice, intellectual choice and inspired choice. And the third one is I've gone beyond choice. What choice? I'm a Yid. There's no discussion. And it's not a question of sacrifice. I'm a part of Hashem. It can't be any other way. So of course it's Shabbos, and it's Yom Tov, it's Tzedakah, whatever is required. Not from choice. It's who I am. That's the third level. And this third level, again, these three levels are reflected in, this is a home. The Jews coming into Yisrael, coming into the home and building their relationship with Hashem and with each other. So we need all three levels, friends. We start from the top down. First has to be, the foundation is, can't be any other way. We are one. Then we have to appreciate the aura, the mystery, and believe in each other. And we have to appreciate and understand and engage and talk and converse, share mind and heart with each other, operate on all three levels. On the conscious, on the super conscious, on the mystical, on the faith level, and finally the essential level, we are one, which is the core and essence of the relationship. I am a Jew. My neshama is a part of Hashem. What's the discussion? Can't be any other way. In other words, the ultimate choice is stop choosing. Freedom not to choose, but freedom from choosing. The whole discussion is over. I am. We are one. Of course, I'm committed. Okay, friends.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Good job.